tiny yellow machine.
Hello, Playdate World, and welcome to the very first episode of TYM Playdate News. I'm Gamp Products, and I am the host of Tiny Yellow Machine. If you don't know already, TYM is a live Playdate show. We do developer interviews, game reveals, and most recently, I did the Playdate Community Awards with my friend Gov Bubs. The goal of this show is to give you quick and to-the-point news. This could be the very first or last episode, depending on how much you all like it. So the plan is to do it bi-weekly, and please, if you enjoy this, like and subscribe. Show me that you want more of this, and that is what will keep me going. Say hello in the comments below. Start a discussion. Feel free to send me any future news via Twitter for now, or Mastodon, or email me at tinyyellowmachine@gmail.com. All right, let's get started. Tonight we're going to talk about Playdate Airport security madness, catalog rumors, shipping, upcoming releases, and Playdate Meetups, and more. All right, let's check in with shipping. This will obviously be a constant segment in our show till the end of the year, most likely. So let's see where we're at. Group 3 is almost done shipping. After a pause near the end of January, shipping has continued this week, and Group 3 orders are being sent once again. Hang in there, Group 4 and 5. Things are moving. We're so close. Just hang in there. Thanks to the Playdate Squad Discord data by user Advil0, we now know that shipping resumed this week, and we are currently going through order number 27XXX or something higher, depending on when you're watching this. Thank you, Julian T, for that credit. All right, main story tonight, Playdate Airport security madness. A Reddit user named Rjett was held at security in the Frankfurt, Germany airport recently due to his Playdate. For some reason, the Playdate caused quite the commotion. On Reddit, Rjett explained, a security supervisor had to be called, they had to Google what the Playdate was, and I had to describe the device and what games you can play on it. It was quite the ordeal. I wonder what games he talked about. On top of that, the battery was dead, so he couldn't prove any of the functions to security. Hilarious. First off, how does one of the cutest little yellow devices ever shout danger to airport security? I feel like whipping that Playdate out in public would only cause dangerous security guards to like immediately grow enlarged cute anime eyes with tears bubbling up at the sight of the cute Playdate. Also, can you imagine trying to tell the guards what a Playdate is? Telling my friends and other gamer friends what the Playdate is always such a joy. But I can actually feel my dignity draining away from my body as I imagine pitching the Playdate to a bunch of airport security guards. Nothing feels more terrifying than that. All right, Cabel Blog, co-founder of Panic, co-composer of the Playdate theme, an all-around nice guy, Cabel Sasser has started his blog up again on cabel.com. In his latest post about the Lloyd Center, a nearly defunct mall in Portland that just continues to hang around, Cabel dropped a small little Easter egg at the end of his post that shows none other than the comic Santos Sisters issue number 2, with the recently revealed hand-drawn Playdate ad. If you haven't heard about the Santos Sisters Easter egg, you should definitely check out Cabel's story about it in the description below. It was a great reveal that he gave us all. Let's go on over to the content corner. Here I'd love to quickly go over some of the wonderful Playdate creations our community is doing. So let's start with podcasts. The official Playdate podcast released a new episode recently where the devs of Spellcorked interviewed the devs from Inventory Hero. with, of course, the wonderful Krista Mergen hosting and moderating. Two highlights I found fascinating during this episode is that, one, the devs of Spellcorked met each other for the first time at PAX West, while two of them were wearing fox costumes and working the booth for Tunic. I absolutely love that story. What a great origin story for a great game. By the way, a game that is winner of the Artistic Visual Achievement Award in an SDK game on the Playdate Community Awards. Another cool highlight from the episode was that one of the early inspirations for Inventory Hero was an early 2000s Windows game called Progress Quest. This game was simply a window you could leave open on your desktop, and it would just play itself once you create your character. It also happened to be a big parody of RPG games and other MMORPGs, so there's a lot of clever writing and comedy that comes with it. Check that out. So much more happened in this episode, so if you're not listening to the podcast yet, you should definitely do it. Check it out in the description below. Other podcasts that were released were from, of course, the wonderful Hello Playdate podcast. Hello Playdate did a very cool episode where all three of the hosts listed their top 10 games of 2022. They also did viewer top 10s as well. The three hosts of the show have spent 2022 playing so many Playdate games and discussing them in depth on their podcast. So this episode in particular will be very exciting to see what games reach the top. I'd also like to thank Hello Playdate Podcasts once again for being wonderful judges in the Playdate Community Awards. You too, Krista and Arissa, and all the other devs that participated. All right, everyone, it's time to talk catalog. We know catalog has been in development for a while now. For those of you who don't know what catalog is, it will be an on-device game store right inside your Playdate. This means you won't have to sideload those games, but also another added feature is that all these games will be curated by Panic themselves. This also means that if that's the case, you're likely getting a pretty great game if it's on catalog. There is so much to discuss here when it comes to catalog. There's a lot to anticipate. First off, I'm most excited to learn about how catalog will be advantageous for our wonderful developer community. Any opportunity for developers to get more visibility and compensation for their hard work makes me a happy playdater. The second most anticipated thing I'm excited about from catalog is, of course, the games. If you pay close attention, there are many games Panic has shown in previews in the past in their update videos. So we can all speculate that maybe some of these games will be on catalog soon, but also maybe not. Maybe they'll be released on Season 2. Maybe they'll have their own self-release coming up. Only time can tell. However, if you also pay close attention, recent press from several games could also show signs that they may be coming out soon, which could mean catalog, or again, maybe releasing on their own. Only time can tell. Once again, speaking of time, when will we see catalog? Well, the best piece of information we have right now is from a digitaltrends.com article that interviewed Greg Maletic. In this article, Greg states that catalog is projected for early 2023. So, depending on how development is going over at Panic, we can hopefully assume that maybe catalog could appear on our devices on our devices anytime now between March. So February, March, who knows? Fingers crossed, y'all. Hopefully it's soon. I know we are all so excited for catalog. All right, next up, recent releases. Let's take a look at some of the most recently released games, starting with Gravity Express. We just finished doing a live show on this game. It was an absolute delight. You can check out the VOD to see an interview with the developer Nino, gameplay, and a fun contest we did with the viewers. Treasure Chasers. Treasure Chasers is a pirate-themed game where you navigate through procedurally generated islands, picking up cargo, and delivering it to other ports to sell. Sounds awesome. Besides the whirlpools, there are also pirates that are out to get you. Either avoid them or shoot them with your cannons to survive as long as you can. But, however, everybody, beware, this is not on itch.io. You can download it for free, though, at crate.net. Over holiday break, you also may have missed an amazing Playdate game called Factory Farming. Cultivation meets automation in Factory Farming by Timbo. It is a true Playdate marvel in development. The game is an automation and logistics game themed around intensive agricultural practices. You can build up an expansive industrial complex by growing, harvesting, refining, and manufacturing a wide variety of highly processed products and sell it for profit. My favorite comment on itch about this game that I found was something along the lines of like, I love this game. I've played it for 3 hours now, and I just made my very first tequila. Perfect. This game is for me. Next, SquidGod returns with his much anticipated Metroidvania. If you aren't already following SquidGod on YouTube, you need to. And you can see that he has been chronicling the development of this gem. The plot is sure to snag you right away. You've ate the king's royal cheese and are now locked in a maze-like dungeon. Perfect. Navigate through the dungeon, unlocking abilities, and collect all that yum cheese. Look at that smooth slide. This game is looking real nice. Thank you so much for another one, SquidGod. You are a true treasure. Our good friend Ollie of Life's Too Short currently has a bundle on sale for all of his games. You can get Life's Too Short, Life's Too Short, A Christmas Spirit, and Time from Earth, all for $3.50 on itch. All great games. Finally, I'm seeing a lot on Twitter and on Discord currently from one of the legendary Pulp 4 Horsemen, Fat Nose Games. The Crank Gym has people sharing their high scores left and right now. The Crank Gym is an adorable little high score chasing experience through gym-based activities. This is perfect for me because now I have another excuse not to go to a real gym. Aww. It's true. At the same time, for another amazing project being released by Fat Nose, he has just released, now that's what I call Pulp, which is basically a downloadable music player / soundtrack stacked with over 60 Playdate Pulp tracks. Dang it, that stereo dock cannot get here fast enough. Now, while we are talking about Fat Nose games, let's quickly pivot to another quick story. Playdate Meetups. It's time, people. Our community is growing. We are all nice people that should meet up, chat, and celebrate our playdates. Luckily, over holiday break, I was able to go to the UK and visit some of my family, but I also had the chance to meet up with Jorg, the developer of Skew, and George of Fat Nose Games. We had an absolute blast. We met in a bar. We had some drinks. And we compared the difference in our cranks. That's a true story. More importantly, however, is that I was fortunate enough to play Jorg's game Skew. Skew, if you don't know, is a delightful spin-off of a VR title called Last Worker. I also got to see preview versions of the Crank Gym and now that's what I call Pulp from Fat Nose Games. Overall, though, it was such a great, fun experience. I highly recommend to everybody watching to start your own Playdate meetup. It's time, everybody. We need to get out there and meet in person. Hopefully someday we can even have our own convention. Bum, bum, bum. That would be amazing. To further entice you, our best friend Gov Bubs, who is one half of the Playdate Community Awards, is currently traveling in Japan. He was able to meet up with Mark and Kenzie from Chuhai Labs, and I mean, just look at it. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, these meetups just truly warm my heart and everybody else's. Again, consider hosting some of your own Playdate meetups soon. All right, upcoming games, outside parties. Go show Adams Immersive some love because they have an extremely interesting project being developed for Playdate right now. It's due out sometime in 2023. Adams Immersive, known for their Playdate Weird Clocks app, is creating a game called Outside Parties. That is a horror scavenger hunt set inside a 1.5 gigapixel image, where you crank to tune the image in real time and reveal details, signals, and other secrets. I mean, wow. You can check out Adams Immersive on the dev forum, itch, and Mastodon. Next up, Direct Drive. This one was a huge surprise to me. Direct Drive is a game that we caught a preview of a while back in one of Panic's update videos, and it's now recently just burst onto the scene on Twitter with an official account and new previews of the game, including this wonderful shot of a character named Gumption McGee. Dang, what a cool guy. I cannot wait for this music-based gem. We also find out on Twitter that it takes place in 1927 New York City and comes out next month. Yes. Next up, in a top 10 games of 2022 article, IGN somehow got their mitts on 2 unreleased copies of upcoming games Skew and Faraway, Fairway. 2022, you say? Well, if that's not a hint for these games being close, then I don't know what is. But isn't it dang good news that they're great games? Sure is. Can't wait to see these 2 games come out soon. All right, that wraps up our very first TYM Playdate News show. Thank you for being here for the very first one. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Send suggestions, constructive feedback, and most of all, you can send me any news my way on Twitter, if it survives, or email at tinyyellowmachine@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Thanks so much.